Reference properties in InterSystems IRIS make it easier to model real-world connections between objects, such as patients and doctors, orders and customers, or invoices and accounts. In general, they allow one object to refer to another object. In this video, you will learn how to define reference properties and see how they behave in ObjectScript and Python. You will also see reference properties behave in SQL and how to query them. A reference property is a property whose value is another object. Instead of embedding all related data inside a single class, reference properties let you connect classes together. For example, a patient object may include a reference to a doctor object through a property such as primary care physician. Internally, InterSystems IRIS stores this connection as an object reference and manages loading and saving the referenced object as needed, maintaining the link between them. A reference is defined in only one direction. One doctor object can be referenced by many patient objects, but the reference itself is declared on the patient class. To define a reference property, you declare a property whose data type is another persistent object. For example, instead of defining a property as a string or number, you define it using the name of another persistent class. In this example, the patient class defines a reference to the doctor class, property primary care physician as hospital.doctor. This means the primary care physician property refers to an instance of the doctor class. When working with objects, you assign the reference by setting the property to an object instance. Here, we set patient.primarycarephysician equal to doctor, the hospital.doctor object. Once the reference is assigned, you can navigate the relationship naturally using dot notation. For example, you can access the doctor's name directly from the patient object by writing patient.primarycarephysician.name. When you access a referenced object, it is automatically retrieved if the object is not already open in memory. This behavior is known as swizzling, sometimes called lazy loading. You do not need to manually open related objects yourself. If the referenced object is new and has not yet been saved, the system automatically saves objects in the correct order to ensure the reference remains valid. Reference properties can be chained across multiple objects. For example, if patient references doctor and doctor references department, you can navigate across both reference properties in a single expression. Here we can write patient.primarycarephysician.department.name. This starts with the patient, moves to the reference doctor, then to that doctor's department, and finally retrieves the department name. In SQL, reference properties appear as foreign key columns. When classes are compiled, these relationships are represented using standard ANSI SQL foreign key behavior. The numbers you see in that column are the IDs from the reference table, such as the doctor table. All standard SQL joins are fully supported when working with reference properties. InterSystems IRIS also supports what we call implicit join syntax using the arrow operator. This alternative to a left join allows you to traverse a reference directly in a query without explicitly writing a join. For example, you can select a patient's name along with the referenced doctor's name without specifying the join condition between hospital.patient and hospital.doctor by writing select ID name, primary care physician, arrow, name as PCP name. Behind the scenes, this syntax is translated into optimized SQL joins. You can still write explicit joins if you prefer, and both approaches produce the same results with the same efficiency. Implicit joins can also be chained in SQL. For example, you might write select name, primary care physician, arrow, name as doctor, department, arrow, phone as department phone, from hospital.patient. In this statement, primary care physician arrow department arrow phone shows how the reference is traversed across multiple tables. This allows you to navigate across both relationships in a single SQL expression. Reference properties provide a powerful way to model connections between objects. They allow natural navigation in ObjectScript, Python, and SQL, and the platform handles loading, saving, and query optimization automatically. By using reference properties, you can work with related data without manually managing object references or SQL joins.